Hello, friends. I'm Leah Fireheart. This is the Fire Kitchen. Today we're celebrating N7 Day. I don't have appropriate N7 clothing, so I just wore red, which seems to work, right? I just skipped. Did I just drop a frame? Not according to OBS. Okay, well, whatever. Hi, guys. Yeah. No, we're funky. Why are we funky? Great.
I'll have what she's having.
Grog, thank you for the bits.
Please select a voice and message.
Great. So things are broken. Everything is broken. Okay. Grog, thank you for the bits. Brigitte, thank you for the Prime subscription. And Anonymous, thank you for that subscription for Some Random Geek, one of our new friends. Come to hang out today for N7 Day. We are celebrating Mass Effect in the only way that the Fire Kitchen can, which is to make Huevos Rancheros, because it's a thing that shows up in the game and we've never made it here before. Opting out says, wait, you aren't actually Shepard? Your costume totally had me fooled. Honest to goodness, though, you know what? Now that you say that, right? I actually probably could pull off a credible Shepard in that dress from ME3, right? Like, couldn't I? From the party? Like a super shiny tank dress. I could probably find something like that. I didn't even think of it, though. And especially after doing like full-on costume for last Tuesday, like I just decided I was just gonna like, in fact, you know what, I didn't even decide. I'd even decide until like this morning. We woke up and we were in Kamesey's stream. So our friend Kamesey, who's a part of the Spectre Status Gaming. Chester, what are you doing? I can hear him. No. Yes, there's popcorn over here. No, you're not allowed to have any. I'm gonna move it in here. Gosh dang it, dog. And so our friend Kamesey's a part of Spectre Status Gaming, and they're having a Mass Effect raid train. And so I was like, I woke up in Kamesey's stream and I was like, it's N7 Day. And I was like, I was gonna make tacos. Wait, maybe we should make something kind of taco adjacent that's not tacos that would be appropriate for N7 Day. And so I did.
I'll have what she's having.
TTS is broken. All right. So I will say, hey there, do you take this train often? Shark, Dr. Andy. Thank you for the bits. And thank you for the hype train, you guys. That's really fun. It's a fun way to kick off a stream with all of my lights going for N7 Day. Right, Munchkin says something is always broken. Every fucking thing was broken today. Everything. I don't even know how to explain how broken everything was. And like after like yesterday, well, we'll talk about this in a second. First, let's say hello to people. Let's say hello to people. So hello to Munchkin and Brigitte and Des and Dirtle. Hi, Dirtle. Guess who forgot to get groceries before the stores close? Oh no, did they close for N7 Day? Do you guys take N7 Day off in Switzerland? I mean, I think that's an awesome thing, and I'm glad that you do that because it's well worth celebrating. Okay, take my Dr. Andy hat off and put it over here. And guess who has to endure the heavy burden of getting a falafel for dinner? Falafel! Yum. Amazing. Delicious. Night Captain Andrew. Hi, how are you? Not too many food references in Mass Effect. Krogan like fish. Ramen is a human delicacy. Seafood gumbo requires not readily available ingredients. Not sure what else. So at the end of ME3, after the party at the Citadel, James, yeah, steak, a Canadian delicacy of some sort. Yes. Says that he's going to make Huevos Rancheros, or he does. And he says, wait, what does he say? It's here in my stream title, but I can't see my stream title from the screen that I'm on right now. I want to get the line right because this is what he says. And I can even, actually, Grog, you want to put Brigitte! Please! Yeah, I'm not sure what kind of eggs these are, but they seem to work. Say my Jane, hello. How are you? It's good to see you. Some random geek beat you to first today, I'm sorry to say. Yeah, so I'm not sure what kind of eggs these are, but they seem to work. Somebody put Command N7 Day in my stream title, which is fun, because I didn't, and so I don't know what that does. Can a mod add a command? Can we find out? Should we find out what they did? What does it do? It doesn't do anything. What should it do? Should we make it do something? We can make it do something. We can make it do something live. Hi, Lassie. Happy N7 Day, bitches. Bitches love N7 Day. That's not the line, but it's a vague reference. Ow! The foods of my people. Hi, how are you? It's good to see you. The foods of your Mass Effect people. Jane says it's okay. I was here and waiting, but then I decided to change the laundry and then I knew it was over. Oh no. I'm actually impressed that y'all managed to grab first so fast. In most of the streams that I'm in, like first doesn't get grabbed until like 45 minutes into the stream when everyone realized that nobody grabbed it. Dr. Andy says it should be a TTS that says you gotta try my eggs. I don't know how to set that up easily. In fact, I don't know how to do anything because apparently all of Lumia's everything is broken, but that's okay because everything is broken today. Everything is broken. Jane says my favorite fucking thing is grabbing a first like 20 minutes in when I very clearly wasn't there before. It is very funny. Leah, get good. I tried. I failed. Dirtle says I hacked the system to get first. Okay. Well, there you go. So over the course of the last...
Can I interest any of you in fruit or dessert?
Avi, hi! How are you? Thank you for the raid. Hello. Hi. Abby was playing Cyberpunk 2077. Okay, and Dirtle's really lurking. Really for real lurking. Actually lurking. Lurking for falafel, apparently. How was Cyberpunk 2077? Did you finish it? I know I ask this every time you come in here with Cyberpunk, but I did you finish it? Did you finish it? No spoilers for Abby because Abby hasn't finished it yet. You guys, if you are not following Obi-Wan Kenobi, I highly recommend that you do. Genuine variety streamer, streams all sorts of games, quite a number of like management sims, like that's a favorite, but really lots and lots of indie games, is always the first to new indie game titles. So if you see Abby's playing like a demo day situation, hop right in there because you will absolutely see all of the coolest shit that's coming out for real. And so yeah, drop Abby a follow because he's a good guy and it's a good place. Abby says I was, but it crashed, so I played a game of Bolt Gun. What's a bolt gun? I don't know what that is. The full gang is here for real. It is. Some random geek says I may be lurking and might just take my break here. Awesome. I love that. Lurk away, take your break here. Do whatever you would like. But it's nice to have you here. You're very welcome, Abby. Nothing that isn't very well deserved, I assure you. Warhammer 40K, a grimdark murder game, as opposed to all the rest of the games that we play, which are definitely not grimdark murder games. A boomer shooter like classic Doom. Okay, when you say boomer shooter, does that mean like explosions or does that mean like old people? Brigitte says for a moment I thought bolt gun was like a t-shirt cannon. Everybody just says yes. Okay, so explosions for old people. Got it. All right, I understand now. Right. So over the course of the last few days, yeah, and honestly, like, the freaking hype train isn't even turning off. I don't know. So over the course of the last couple days, I've been just like cleaning and generally getting ready for family to come over. Just all of the little things that have to be done before you're like going to be maybe hosting people in your house. And one of the things that had happened is that the computer over here in the back corner, the computer's like just on, you can't see it, but it's just on the other side of that chair, sort of between the chair and the lamp, right? And then also right on that wall, this wall, the wall with all of my lights, like my my castle LED lights, is the intake for the heating and air conditioning system. So it gets really dusty between the computer with all of its fans and the intake thing gets really dusty in that corner. And of course I can't get to it because to get to it, I've got to pull the chair out. I've got to pull the computer out. I have to unhook everything. I have to pull the table out. So in order to be able to clean stuff, it's like, what was that? Why is this thing?
Hey there, do you take this strain of man?
Oh, it's not queuing properly. That's the problem. That's the problem. I thought we fixed this, but clearly we didn't. Okay, well, good to know. Now we know what the problem is, and hopefully eventually the lights will turn off by themselves, and that's very exciting. Abby is also a great member of the unofficial stream team. That's really cool. I didn't know there was an unofficial stream team. Can I be part of the unofficial or the unofficial stream team? I want to be a fishy. There's a whole clip of me doing this. Now there's probably going to be another one. I think Blink made it. It's a shooter for us old folks that watched the birth of the PC. I remember getting motion sick to Doom back in the day. So do I count? I don't have a club bonk command. I don't even have a droff command. I'm a failure. Grog might know Warhammer. Oh yeah, Grog definitely knows Warhammer for sure. Grog played the first edition Rogue Trader back in college before Games Workshop went full derp. You mean the company, not like the people. Obviously, this is hecking cool. I'm mostly in it for the book's lore and the game. Yeah, there's a good Warhammer's the one that got like crazy expensive when the company got a monopoly, right? So the whole point is like I unplugged the entire computer, and if you know my setup, like if I unplug everything, I have to like cross all of my digits and wish on a star and pray to Cthulhu or something that everything's going to turn back on. So I hooked everything up. I turned everything on. I checked all of the cameras. I checked all the mics. I checked all the monitors. I checked all the things to make sure everything worked. And it did. And I was like, this is amazing. I must have like extra good vibes somewhere today, because I didn't think it was like the chances of this working the first time were not good at all, but it did. And so I was like, whew, okay. So then I moved everything into the kitchen, right? I did my hair, got dressed, and did all the things, moved everything into the kitchen, and like the mic wouldn't work. The other mic wouldn't work. The monitor wouldn't work. I had everything all plugged in, and voice meters started flashing that the main connection to the computer was not there. And I'm like, how could everything have gotten so? I literally was playing Fortnite back there at 2:00. Like back there, the only thing I did was move the monitor in here. Why is this broken? I'm so frustrated. Like, why is it? So I'm like, reboot. And as it turns out, the only problem was that, the main problem was that the monitor power cord was just a little loose in the back of the monitor, not like where you plug it into the plug, but like when you plug it into the monitor was a little bit loose. So that's why the monitor wasn't working anyway. We fixed everything and it was fine, but like, Okay. All right. So Lassie says, you, Des, Abby, Santa, Jazzy, Misplaced, Brigo, Pies is the current roster, whether they like it or not. Lassie has constructed a stream team for us. Lassie, what are our rules? Do we have rules for this stream team? Do we have like mutual like promotion goals? Do we have like should we like make a should we I don't know. What do stream teams do? I don't even know. I know. So I know, that Natalie sometimes streams with hers, which is actually how I know about Fortnite, because her stream team was playing Fortnite together. But that's the only reason I know about Fortnite. As anything other than a joke. um, and I know like they do like fundraisers together, like for charity. But other than that, I don't know what stream teams do. Jess says there's a problem. You're praying to the wrong entity. Who am I supposed to be praying to? I don't have any water. I probably need water. Let's get some water. And we're just going to be festive today, apparently. I'm not really sure. I'm probably going to have to check the... Something is always broken. Jess says, I don't know, we roast each other all the time. We do roast each other all the time. Yes, and thank you for that shout out for Des. Random shout out for Des. Your rules are to be awesome. Okay, fantastic. Awesome. Yeah, for the Fire Kitchen roaster instead of roster would work. Des says, I don't know, but I doubt that Cthulhu is the correct one. I don't know. What do I know? All right, let's go here and see if we can figure out why we are currently remaining so festive. We probably don't need to be so festive. Yeah, why is it doing this? Apparently, periodically, Lumia decides that it needs to change my default light state completely on its own. I swear to you, I'm not doing anything. So it must be that command, the hype train command, that's changing my default state to disco mode. Do we know why it's doing that? Do we know how to fix it? No, we don't. All right, well, we'll worry about that later. Okay. All right. Night Captain Anders says the rotisserie is a pretty rude roaster. It's always flipping the bird. Okay, that one was good. That one gets a genuine laugh. That's very funny. Of all the things, of all the puns that I might have liked, that's the only one. Abby says you're supposed to pray to Gloop, the all-seeing, all-encompassing, gelatinous overlord that makes sure all tech is teching, all food is fooding, and all streams are streaming. Okay, so Gloop. We'll pray to Gloop next time. Hopefully it'll work. Pray to Cthulhu if you want. He's not listening. Alice's would be like a speck of dust praying to one of us. Lassie says, but you do have a secret sister team that you don't know about. It's a bit smaller. A secret sister team. Secrets? Ooh, secrets are fun. But I don't want to know any secrets because then it wouldn't be a secret anymore.
You're hot, Cupcake.
Thank you, Alice. Is it Gloop? No, isn't it Goop? It's Goop. Shark, Alice. Good to see you. Yeah, it's Goop. You're confused. Oh, good. And Firebot would like to remind us to have water. And meds. So if you have not yet taken your meds today, and now would be a good time to do so, I highly recommend that you go and acquire those and take them post haste. And if you need to take them soon, but you're not near them and you want to go get them so that you don't forget later, now would also be a good time to do that. Also, if you've been sitting at the computer for a while, aka Abby, I know you've been streaming for a while, you could probably use a little bit of a stretch. So maybe do those things. No, that's good. She's a false idol. For real. Oh, and Lassie says I forgot Dr. Andy's also on the team, but the sister team is mostly Australian. What the heck are you talking about? I'm so confused. Al says that's like meds too, double feature. Wait, what meds? There's water and beer, right? There's water and beer, but alcohol doesn't count as water. We've been down this road with Grog and various people. And also we asked Dr. Momdelay, and Dr. Momdelay says alcohol is not water, so you also need water. Please. Or something adjacent to water that's not beer. Brigitte says I'd rather hang out with the Kusala... What the hell are you talking about? I'm not reading that until you explain yourself. All right, so Abby says, let me get snackies and fire up Kerbal. Excellent. All right, you go get snackies and various things, whatever you need to do. And thank you again for the raid. I really appreciate it. And we will see you again very soon. No, Dr. Momdelay the doctor. Okay, I'm sure Dr. Momdelay is super fun. Like, for real fun. Like, seems really cool. Seems like a really cool person. And also is a doctor, and you should listen to her when it comes to medical stuff. Fake news. Night Captain Andrews says, whenever you're drinking booze, always put ice in it. That way, as the ice melts, you get more booze. The logic here. I do not endorse this logic. I'm going to write another disclaimer. I never did did I copy that one that my mom wrote so that I could just like put like disclaimer in the chat? Okay. Lassie says me, Des, Abby, Santa, Jazzy, Misplaced, Brigo, Pies, Dr. Andy, Main Team. There's 3 others that I watched through the sister stream, and they're Australian. Oh, okay. So these are just streamers Lassie watches. Now I understand how I ended up on this team. Got it. Well, this is an amazing team, and I'm happy to be a part of it. All right, y'all. No, I could do that now. We don't have to have patience. We could do drinkies now. Why not? What the hell? That have been forced into a team. Hey, you know what? I want to meet these Australians because I bet they're heckin' cool because they're in good company. Yeah. So Al has redeemed Grog with Grog. We do have a plan today for Grog with Grog. So, why don't we bring Grog in here, and that way, before I start making a mess and turning the kitchen into a disaster, that Grog can make some drinks for us. How about that? Let me just switch up some mic stuff so that y'all can hear him. That should be good-ish. Amazing. Brigitte says, am I going to have to share a clip of the... Yes, because I'm not saying that. Put it in the Discord, though. I'm not going to watch it now. All right. Lassie says you have mostly the American team and the mostly Australian team. You have both sides of the world. Yes, and so if you're going to add Australians, you got to add Vintage RPG. Can we get it? Wait, let me see. Can I do... I think Vintage is a underscore, right? Vintage RPG? Get a shout out for Vintage? Yes! Yeah. No, mine is correct. Grog's is wrong. Let's just delete that one. Because that one's not right. Woot! There we go. Yeah, so that's that. The one up at the top is correct. Vintage was just playing Baldur's Gate 3. If you are up in the Eastern time zone in the relatively early morning, like between like 6 a.m. and like 11 a.m., you may catch Vintage on typically I think like Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Is that right? I think that's right. And Vintage plays a lot of things like Mass Effect, and also Dragon Age, but also Stardew Valley and Baldur's Gate, and I don't... What's that other one that she's been playing? That like generational strategy game that's like super different than most of the things she plays on her channel. Anyway, another variety.
The one with the crabs and the guns.
Oh, and also Crab Champions, which is friggin' hilarious. Lassie says he's not on the team at the moment, but he would still be on the main team if they join. Okay. Some random geek says Fire Emblem. No. Crusader Kings 3. I think it's Crusader Kings is the way I think we're talking about. Yeah. But Fire Emblem, I I watched Word Fangirl. Do you guys know Word Fangirl? I don't watch her very often, but she's another super cool, super chill streamer. Just typically a little bit disorganized, which is kind of funny, but disorganized in a fun way. Word Fangirl played Fire Emblem Three Houses, and she had another name for it. She called it. It might have been. It was something like Fire Emblem Three Boyfriends.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, it was very funny, and it apparently was last seen playing Alien Isolation, which I would not have watched, but I do pop in there occasionally and lurk, particularly when she's not playing things that are going to scare the bejesus out of me. But as far as I know, it's kind of irregular schedule these days. All right, so I think Grog is ready, so I'm gonna go back there and do something. Probably see if I can make my phone ring because I don't know what the hell I did with it. And I will see you guys in a little bit.
All right, is the mic ready?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good evening, everyone. It is drink time, and we are going to make some drinks.
Can I just sneak in here really quick and see if I can make my phone ring?
I still gotta get the drinks set up anyways.
Excuse me.
Alright, drinks. Since we are doing a mostly Mexican-ish plate tonight, we are going to be making Leah a tia mia, and because the ingredients are very similar, I'm just going to have one of our classic Mai Tais. So, I'm going to start off with the Mai Tai. Mainly the reason I'm starting off with the Mai Tai is that the tia mia has mezcal, which is a smoky cocktail, and I'm not that big a fan of smoky cocktails, so, but if I just make my drink first, there will be no worry about cross-contamination. Alright, for the Mai Tai, we are going to start off with 2 ounces of aged rum, like so, followed up by a ½ ounce of rhum agricole. I like smoky in barbecue. That's fine, but in drinks, not really. Alright, a ½ ounce of dry curaçao. It's been a while since I've read this spot. There we go. Alright. ½ ounce of dry curaçao. ½ ounce of orgeat, which is basically an almond syrup. Like so. And a ½ ounce of lime juice. There we go. Alright. Add ice. And shake. Never added liquid smoke to a beverage. Neither have I, actually. So, if I did want to add liquid smoke, I could probably just make a simple syrup out of Lapsang Souchong tea. Which actually might not be a bad substitution for that smoky bitters which we are out of. Mai Tai. Okay, now for the Tia Mia. The Tia Mia is basically a very similar recipe, but with a few kinks. Like, in this case, the gold rum, the 2 ounces of gold rum is replaced by 1 ounce of the mezcal and 1 ounce of the gold rum. So, and then we do the 1/2 ounce of orgeat. Half ounce of dry curacao. And 3/4 of an ounce of the lime juice. What is liquid smoke? It's essentially what it says on the tin. It's a liquid flavoring that adds a smoky flavor to whatever it is you are adding it to. Alright. Now for Leah's, I just drop the ice in automatically. Keep the sink as clear as possible, which will make my life a little bit easier at the end of stream. And because mezcal is a cactus-based drink, it comes in its own cactus mug for Leah. Okay, start bottling this stuff up. Oh wait, this one goes there. That one goes there. Yes, yes. Okay. Well, it might not kill you, but it would probably make you very, very sick. Okay, get all this stuff back in the fridge. Well, basically, yeah, a lot of water will kill you in the proper quantities and if taken the wrong way. And these out of the way, luckily in trees. TikTok for principles. Okay. So we got Leah's drink here. And I will be taking my drink back to the mod workstation. Y'all watched, I mean, a top angle of me pouring booze into a shaker is probably no great loss. I can't move now. I have a dog in my lap. I don't make the rule. I can fix that. Hey, Chess. Hey, Chess. ask him. But are you asleep? Look. Come here. Come on down here. Let everybody see you. See? Here's your doggy. Who's it? Oh, good doggy. Who's your good boy? Yeah. Good boy, get a treat. Yes, he do. He good boy. Okay. Drink is made. Dog is off of Leah's lap. And it's time to turn things back over to Leah.
Hi.
Hi.
Thanks.
You're welcome. There's your
drinkies. I love it.
Try it. Make sure it's...
I'm sure it's fine. I mean, you've only made these 100 times.
Mm.
All right. Let's switch that back over to the other mic. That should be better. Hi, guys. Hello. Yeah, I went and sat back there, and Chester was like, "Oh, hi, you're here," and he just like plopped down in my lap, which is adorable, but not particularly helpful. Let me turn this around. Did I ever tell you guys that we saw these mugs at a tiki bar in Washington? That's actually closed now. Sad face. They gave up. They made it through the panini, but then decided that they had had enough and they were tired of struggling. Which I kind of understand, to be honest. It's rough out there, friends. It is rough out there, particularly for small businesses, I would say. And if you, in your winter celebrations, choose to patronize any establishments when it comes to gift giving, highly recommend you check into what is small and locally owned around you, because these things are typically, if you can, they will be very much appreciated. But the point is, I bought this. No, I didn't, but we pestered the bartender until he told us where he got them, and then we went and bought one. It was like a restaurant supply place, but I was like, I need a cactus, and this is the only drink we serve in it. It's just literally like, the Tia Mia. They get served in the cactus. Okay, so. I'm so tickled. No, I do wish. I really now wish that I had actually gone to some effort to do the Shepard thing. It didn't occur to me. There's gotta be though. There's gotta be people that have done this cosplay, right? There's gotta be people who have. I mean, 'cause really, all you kind of all you need is the dress, right? And the dress wouldn't be that hard to do. I mean, it's just kind of a black shiny dress with some red piping. You could even put I mean, if you're just gonna wear it on stream for a couple of hours, you could maybe use washi tape or something to do it. That seems totally doable. Now I wish I'd thought of it. Maybe I should do it next year. Okay, but let's go ahead and turn on the counter cam. Give me just a moment. So that y'all can actually see what we're doing over here. So I was like, okay, so I don't know how this week is gonna go, so I just kind of want to do something easy and fast. And I happened to notice that we had crunchy taco shells in the cabinet, and I was like, I could just make totally normal crunchy tacos, and that would be fine. But instead, when we realized this morning during KMZ stream that it was N7 day, I was like, is there any food in Mass Effect? And Grog kind of went through Canadian delicacy. I'm like, but what is that actually referring to? And then we remembered the thing where James makes eggs at the end of ME3, and we were like, okay, so what kind of eggs? And as it turns out, it's actually his abuela's Huevos Rancheros. Which I'm like, I love Huevos Rancheros, like, so much. And, like, technically, okay, so technically this is a breakfast thing, right? So technically this is not, like, an eat it for dinner thing. But, I decided that I don't care. So, oh, okay, Lassie says, okay, bye, Leah, have great something. Sorry, the squid and the octopuses are in short supply again, so no more squids and octopuses to give out. Well, that's okay. Your presence here is enough. You don't have to give us a squid. But I appreciate you, so I hope you have a good night. Yeah, so I was really excited because I love Huevos Rancheros, and I've actually never made them at home, which seems bizarre. Yeah, our fall food is dinner food if you eat it in the evening. Exactly. It's perfect. Because then, we've made breakfast for dinner before. We've made, like, waffles and things, so why not Huevos Rancheros? Okay, so now I have to kind of decide, like, what order I want to do this in. This is not a complicated recipe, but there are, like, a bunch of different things to do at once. I think I'm just going to pull out all the ingredients and then we'll see what makes the most sense in terms of order. Yeah, because I'm not actually sure. I think I probably want to do... All right, so the basic thing is, okay, so there's the ranchero sauce, which is like a red tomato-based cooked sauce. There's the tortillas, which need frying. We bought store-bought ones. I'm not going to make them today. But in the past I have, and they were really delicious. It's just that for this, you're going to, like, fry them and make them crispy, and I didn't see the point of making them myself. And then... the toppings, we're going to do eggs, we're going to do black beans, we're going to do chorizo. Okay. Turtles is here you go, a squid for you, Leah. Thank you. I love that set of emotes. I love the tentacles. It makes me really happy. Alice is just like, all food is breakfast if you eat it in the morning. Yeah, so pizza's breakfast, right? Leftover cold pizza's breakfast. He says, okay, snackies have been had and Kerbal Space Program has been fired up. Amazing. How's it running? Are all of your mods working? I'm excited to hear. Dirtle has achieved falafel. Oh my gosh, I love falafel. Have we ever made falafel on stream? I don't remember. I know I talked about maybe making it from scratch one time, but I don't know if I ever did it. I should. Falafel's delicious. Grog says Leah was dead against my assertion that cold pizza is breakfast food. I mean, you can eat... So here's the problem. I just don't really like cold pizza. Like, I like to heat it up. I like heated up pizza. Oh, okay. Rupert Gardner in Mass Effect also makes calamari gumbo. Well, see, the squid would have come in handy, but Fladley, you're out. Oh, well. Guess we're going to have to make Huevos Rancheros. Yeah, Grog's not a fan of calamari anyway. It's true. Speaking of Mass Effect, they dropped some crumbs for M7 Day. Really? Okay, Lassie is out for real. Okay, bye, Lassie. Jane loves falafel. I also love falafel. Currently reattempting the Duna Mars mission. I don't know what this means. I know a lot of people, I know Xantos was really excited about Kerbal Space Program. I think our friend Paul STL was also excited about it, but I don't actually know that much about it because I don't think they've streamed it. I think because it was like really resource intensive, and so like it was hard to like do both the encoding and the run the game at the same time. So I think a lot of people didn't stream it. Okay, so Dirtle's hands are getting messy. I'll type again when I'm done eating. Dirtle, just get sticky. Get your keyboard sticky. Everything can be sticky and it's fine. You want to know how I know? Because I've had this Logitech keyboard for like 18 months and I've spilled all manner of crap on it and it still works. So I'm sure it's fine. Just keep typing. It's fine. Dr. Andy says I have the new teaser video here loaded here and we'll watch it later. Amazing. Okay, good. Well, that'll be fun then. Abby is basically sending people to Duna, which is the Kerbal equivalent of Mars, and then trying to bring them back in one go. All right, cool. Good luck. I think you can do it. I'm excited. I'm excited to see it. There's a new teaser video. Fun, but teasing what? What are they teasing? No, I guess we'll find out. So yeah, follow Dr. Andy and then come watch later because oops. That way y'all will know as much as Dr. Andy knows. Normally I'm not like for the most part I kind of try to stay away from like speculative content surrounding BioWare games. The thing is that like people get so excited for BioWare games. And so there's a lot of like there ends up being like a lot of like rumors and like people being like, oh, if they do this, then I'm 100% not playing this game or I'm never going to buy it. And as it turns out, like that just wasn't ever going to be a thing. And it was just a rumor that somebody randomly started. So I just kind of feel like BioWare fans overreacting. No. Sharks. No, I love your sharks. I love that you still have the candy cane, the candy corn shark up. It's great. So I mostly, for the most part, I kind of try to steer clear of spaces where I see, like, I don't want to say spoilers. I'm not talking about spoilers. I just mean like where people are wildly speculating on the future of a BioWare game because I just get super impatient with it really, really fast. Abby is also excited for the release of the Invincible. I tried it at Steam Next Fest. Was buggy but really cool vibes based on a sci-fi book. Retro future Firewatch vibes. Well, I know you have Brigitte's attention for sure. Brigitte loved Firewatch. Actually, I think Mariah really liked Firewatch too. I know she played it and she was very interested in it. Yeah, I think you definitely have Brigitte's attention for sure. Brigitte says, in the same way that you're talking about what you're going to write activates the satisfaction part of your brain and steals your impetus to actually write, I feel that wild speculation and hype about a video game triggers satisfaction at the expense of enjoyment of the released game. That is an interesting point and plausible. I have gotten a fair. I'm just gonna pull out ingredients as I talk about this because this is a completely unrelated subject. So I have gotten a taste of all of this when it comes to the game that I play most often, which is Fortnite. Fortnite has a new, like, the way that Fortnite works is they basically reset a ton of stuff once every 3 months. And then they reset everything once a year. And in between, they reset various things every single week. So there is constant content changes, constant discussion of what might happen, what might be coming, what's definitely coming, how certain thing works, how certain things don't work, whether things are going to stay, whether things are going to go. And it's like a constant churn of, I mean, and I'm sure it kind of benefits the game, right? Because like these, otherwise people wouldn't watch all these leakers. Yeah, well, I mean, and also leakers, okay? Because let's be real here. Some of the things really are leakers. Like some of the things are people going into the Fortnite game files, not hacking into it or anything, just looking at like public Fortnite files and looking in to see like what has been changed recently and what might happen. Data mining. Exactly. So it's data mining. But then they're trying to like, so they're looking through all the files, trying to figure out what might come next. Sometimes they're right and sometimes they're wrong. But then also, in order to hype up a new season or a new chapter, there are things that get leaked. And some of these leaks have, I am a PR professional leaking this information to very specific content creators in a very specific way written all over it. Maybe it's just because I've worked in PR, right? But like some of these leaks are clearly not leaks. Some of these leaks are clearly epic trying to tease the new season. And it's so funny. Okay, Abby says, I know for sure them banking on BioWare magic is no longer going to work. They should be really careful after Anthem. That's fair. Brigitte is teleporting Abby onto a rope dangling from a helicopter above a wildfire with a marshmallow on a fondue fork. Oh dear. Abby says, I didn't bring, I'd be totally down for that. I've wanted to work as a Firewatch for so long. You probably could where you live. There's probably Firewatch where you live. Somewhere nearby. Some random geek says, weren't they forced to make Anthem by EA when BioWare doesn't make a Destiny type of game? Yeah, I mean, I don't know the details of all of that. My point is just that, like, one of the things I have so very little patience. Like I want to know what's coming and I want to see what's actually real. But like one of these stupid leakers, one of these stupid data miners was like, oh, so we've looked in the files and we think sprinting and mantling aren't going to be a thing. Okay, first of all, bullshit, it was. Second of all, he was like, oh, so therefore there's no way zero build is going to continue. It threw the entire community into a complete and utter tizzy for weeks. They're going to remove zero build. No, they're not. A third of their player base plays nothing but zero build. They're not going to take out a mode that 750,000 people play every day. It's so stupid. Why would anyone believe that? It's just like, anyway, whatever. It's just like the overreaction is not limited to BioWare is what I'm saying. Okay, so Dr. Andy says, I'm assuming the next games won't even be released because the studio will crash and burn or something. Anything better than that will be nice. Agreed. Abby says, no, in Anthem's case, EA actually saved their ass. It was going to be way worse. EA surprisingly doesn't have much to do with Anthem. It was entirely BioWare upper management. Oh dear. Snow says, I've climbed a fire tower before, and it's how I realized I'm really afraid of heights. Brigitte says, Firewatch was amazing. I think it's going to be difficult to top that finale. Some random geek says, I just wish BioWare wouldn't abuse their employees like so many other videos companies do. Agreed. Snow says some games make choices like that. That's true. Some random geek says that Epic's not above pissing off their customers. That is also true. But like, the thing was that, and I think the thing that annoyed me so much was that it was literally one guy. And I went and looked at the tweet and it was just complete wild speculation based on zero information that like had these poor Fortnite content creators, right? They just had constant people, every other comment was people coming into their chat being like, are they really going to remove zero build? No, they're not. Abby says there's no active fire watches in New York. The last 5 were closed in the 90s. They do most of their fire detection using satellite these days. That probably makes sense. Some random geeks, but also I bet Epic Games did have the leaks of sprinting and mantling to be removed to gauge the community reaction. Could be, yeah. Abby says I sleep somewhat soundly knowing I have no footprint on Twitter. Yeah, interesting point, right? I used to absolutely live on Twitter for decades, right? I joined Twitter in 2008. So I've been on Twitter for a very long time. I had a whole marketing consultancy, interior design, furniture folk Twitter. And then I opened a new account that was entirely my romance book Twitter. That was huge, right? So this was a very large established account. I have since completely walked away from it. I haven't closed any of the accounts. The only time I end up on Twitter is when I click a link. So like when somebody is like, there's a chance that zero build's going to be removed from Fortnite, and I click the link and I look at it and I'm like, seriously, all right, fine. Yeah, I mean, the problem is that like, it's good for some things, right? Like there are some things it's good for. And unfortunately, when it comes to like this particular game, I feel like there's not really a whole lot of people talking about. I mean, I think it's probably different for BioWare games. There's probably enough on like Threads and Blue Sky and that kind of thing that you can like get enough real news. But like for Fortnite, I feel like all the big content creators, all the big leakers and whatever, they all did the verified thing and they're all on board with Elon Musk and they're all on board with whatever. And But they're all still there. So, like, if you want Fortnite news, that's where you go. Avi says Twitter is like a drying saltwater lake. As the water dries up, there's nothing left but hopeful locals and salt. It's very apt, Avi. Salt is delicious. All right, so I have here an onion, a garlic, a jalapeno pepper, chipotle pepper in adobo sauce, which I have left over from the other day. So we're going to pull that out. Which is why I chose this specific recipe, because it called for the chipotle peppers that I have used. Fire roasted or diced tomatoes, 16 ounces of diced tomatoes, which I got from Imperfect Foods. So we're good. And then chicken broth, which I have here in the fridge. This is beef broth. Oops. Do I have chicken broth in the fridge? That would be handy if I did. I do. I'm going to have to pour it out of this big bowl. So that's going to be fun. Brigitte says our prime minister is on board with Elon Musk, it seems, which is great. Great. Yeah. And some discussion about some legal stuff this week following him hanging out with Elon Musk seems to imply some colluding, which is great. Yeah, not great. Those cartoon googly eyes. Brigitte, what did you call Omega's Prime? I was sitting back there on the sofa and I was trying not to laugh. It was really good. You've been given a title. Emote monarch. There we go. And because we all know Omega's Prime's a king. It's very good. Emote monarch. Okay. Chicken breast, cilantro. Okay. I think we have cilantro in here. Pretty sure we have cilantro. Okay, there's too much stuff in here. We might want that. I do have a recipe. This is, I think this is parsley. Yeah, parsley. Also parsley. So much parsley. What is this? Is this parsley? I can't tell. Yeah, parsley. Oops. All of this is parsley. I thought I had cilantro, but I don't. Apparently, I just have parsley. Well, heck. All right, fine. We'll make do without it. Smoked paprika or ancho chili powder. I don't think I have ancho chili powder, so we'll use smoked paprika. Omega's Prime says my emotes are thanks to all the streamers I follow. It was a nice array of cool stuff to drop in and say hi. The disco ball is really good too. Oh my gosh, these are all different people. You hang out with a lot of different people than I do. That's really fun. Different emotes. Okay, so dried Mexican oregano, which I do have, in fact. Mexican oregano, which apparently is not at all an oregano. It's like some other herb entirely. Brown sugar, cumin. Cumin is important. You can shout at Durdle too, by the way, Grog. You just command SA Durdle. Durdle says, "Oh my God, is it true they're gonna remove Zero Build?" No. Yeah, just command, just exclamation point SA Durdle. Omega's Prime. Since you're linking fire tonight in the kitchen. Thank you. Thank you. I love this dress. I think it's really cute. I like the red. I don't have a lot of red in my closet, but for years I thought I couldn't wear it. But why not? Wear the red. Life is short. Wear the red. I can't believe nobody's shouting at Dirtle. I'm so disappointed in you all. All right. Kosher salt, pepper, juice from 1 lime. Turtle says, Grog, I spend a large portion of my time thinking about what I have done. I don't think sitting in a corner will help with that. I'm very amused. I think I'm the funniest person in the whole world, Brigitte. Have you not noticed? You don't know until you try. That's fair. All right, vegetable oil, corn tortillas. Corn tortillas are over here. We bought them today. Eggs, which I'm not going to take out yet. Black beans. Black beans. And then don't have queso fresco, which is okay. Another bunch of cilantro. I'm really kind of disappointed about the cilantro. Because like this is parsley. Why do I have so much parsley and no cilantro? I know. And I ordered some last week, but they didn't have it. They took it out of my order. So which is why I thought I had it, but I don't. I have like 3 bunches of parsley instead. Okay, jalapeno, avocado, salt and pepper to taste. Okay, we are in good shape here. So I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to prep the tortillas and stuff all first. And the chorizo. Because I can. So there's multiple kinds of chorizo. The Spanish chorizo that you get more frequently in Europe, is in a casing. But the South American, or a Mexican, I guess, is this fresh type, that is just like ground up. And that's more what I'm used to seeing, like in California where I'm from. And so when I saw that like chorizo and casings, like aged, was a thing, I was very confused by that. I was like, is this a different thing? But no, it's basically the same thing. It's just aged instead of fresh. Dirtle is trying to send me cilantro. Brigitte says try sending Leah condiment packets instead. Brigitte, I swear to God. Omega's Prime says my area, the markets are doing the fresh chorizo, but I really like the hard chorizo and casings. Yeah, I don't know. So my farmer's market, there's a guy that does both. But weirdly, the stuff in casings always sells out first. And so usually by the time I get there, the only stuff that's left is the fresh stuff, which is okay, because, you know, I'll use both. It's just that I use, like, for like, the streams that I've done, the, like, tapas streams, it makes more sense to do the casing kind. And then, of course, my regular grocery store, like Wegmans, when I go to my regular grocery store, they have chorizo, but it's not like aged, it's just in casings. So, like, it's basically this, but in a casing, and I don't know what you do with that. I mean, I guess you could just kind of like use it in place of like an andouille sausage or something. I don't know. Right, so we're just gonna cook that up. Dirtle says, if you don't mind, could you explain what you mean by chorizo in casings? So there's like, so you know sausages, right? Like sausages like this that are like shaped like sausages. The outer part of like the wrapping of it is called the casing. And then inside is the ground meat and seasonings and stuff. And like you can age a sausage and then it'll be like a hard sausage. Or you can have it be like fresh sausage shoved into a casing that you can like squeeze out if you want and just make it like ground meat. Or you can cook it up like a sausage. Does that make sense? Opting out says, if anyone is sending condiment pockets, remember that Marmite is a condiment. Oh my God. Opting out. Hello. Welcome to here, Shark Shark. Thanks for the troll. Love ya. Mean it. Bye. Ground meat versus saucisson. I see. So actual chorizo instead of chorizo goo. Got it. Okay. Brigitte says, Grog is sending Brigitte dill, and so that's why Brigitte needs to wash her mouth out. Chorizo says that the bag you had contained slices of chorizo, but it's chorizo juice. It's not chorizo goo. It's the texture of ground, well, I mean, technically, like ground beef, but like technically it's ground pork. It's here. Wait, hold on a second. You guys can actually see this if I turn on the thing. Also, electrifying radio. Hi. Welcome to here. It's the texture of ground beef. It's not goo. It's like it's ground meat that's been seasoned. It's not slices. But this is a very, very common ingredient in Mexican cuisine. This is like utterly normal where I'm from. The kind that you can like slice and put on a charcuterie plate or something, that's the weird stuff for me. This is normal. But it's the texture of ground beef. It's not goo. Like there's nothing gooey about it. It's like that. You guys are just trolling me. I'm just gonna cook my chorizo. I'm gonna ignore you guys. Oops, making it go all over the place. I haven't had this one from this person before, but it smells really good. But like you make like tacos out of it. Like this is a perfectly normal thing. We're not going to make tacos out of it, but it's a perfectly normal thing to make tacos out of. You know what else is really good to make out of chorizo is breakfast burritos. So if you like scramble, I feel like chorizo like is more like a breakfast thing than like a dinner thing. But the thing that's like really good about it is that you can like put it in with scrambled eggs and cheese and like spinach and like tomatoes. Usually tomatoes or salsa. My mouth is watering just thinking about it. Breakfast burritos are delicious. I should have gotten some big flour tortillas and we could have had breakfast burritos. Tomorrow, I mean, because we're going to have leftover chorizo. Turtle says, do they really call that chorizo in Mexico? Because the only chorizo I ever knew in Chile and Spain is a sausage-shaped chorizo that is shaped like a sausage. Okay, here, do I know for sure? No. Okay, and here's the reason. I didn't realize until I was a gosh dang adult, like an actual full-grown adult, and we're talking like 5 years ago, okay, that the vast majority of the food that I thought of in California growing up, okay, so growing up in California, we had a lot of Mexican food. However, a lot of the Mexican food that we had was not Mexican. It was Central American. So Guatemala, El Salvador, Costa Rica, like Central America, more so than actual Mexico. Grog is gonna try to settle this once and for all. Okay. Cast, summon, peaches. You can't cast, summon, peaches. You have to start talking about, I think you have to start talking about Meg and Vi and Caitlin to summon peaches. But no, I don't know. I mean, peaches is Spanish, obviously, but like,
You're
but
hot,
like the,
Cupcake.
thank you, whoever tried. But like, the fact is that like, and of course, and I guess the other problem is that California has an indigenous Mexican population, right? Like, California was literally part of Mexico before it was part of the United States. And so there are people in California who have been there since California was, like, whose families have been there since it was part of Mexico. So, like, what's Mexican versus what's not, right? I don't know. So my point is, this particular dish is typically served with ground seasoned meat. All right. At least in my experience in California. But when we were in London, I couldn't get that at all. It was all sausage shaped. That's my point. Thank you, Tess. That's really good. Wikipedia breaks it out by country/region. Okay. Should I click on this? Should we actually look at it and I can read it? Europe, Spain, Portugal, Mexico. Yeah. Okay, so Mexican versions of chorizo are not only made from fatty pork, but also beef, venison, chicken, and turkey. Kosher and vegan versions are available. The meat is usually ground, minced, rather than chopped, and different seasonings are used. Due to the high cost of imported Spanish paprika, Mexican chorizo is traditionally made with native cultivars of the same species of chili pepper used in Spain, making the Mexican version spicier than the Spanish one. Mexican chorizo also typically uses vinegar instead of the white wine normally used in Spain. So they definitely can come in sausage form, but also they can be cooked just as ground meat. All right, so Puerto Rican chorizo is a smoked, well-seasoned sausage nearly identical to the smoked versions in Spain. Oh, smoked. Okay, so smoking is a whole thing. Salvadorian chorizo is short, fresh, not dried, and tied in twins. Okay, so this is actually Mexican then. Like, genuinely, actually Mexican. Got it. Yeah, it's a long article. Chorizo seems to be a sausage everywhere but in Mexico. Yeah, that's the solution that's the idea that I came to too. And also, I would say, in the United States, as a result of our proximity to Mexico. You can certainly get both, although I will literally say I never saw the sausage version growing up. I only ever saw this ground meat version. Right, that is cooked. That's why you have a lot of gopher sausages made with ground meat. Opting out, please. Dirtle says, I know South American chorizo is different from Spanish chorizo. I just didn't know Mexican called their spicy minced meat chorizo. Yeah. Old saying, poor Mexico, so far from God, so close to the U.S. Oh my God. All right. So that is the thing that we have here. All right. So, I don't know what's wrong with me tonight. You're fine. You are making me laugh. Okay. So now what are we going to do? I think the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make the ranchero sauce. So let's chop an onion. I'm worried that this isn't going to taste right without the cilantro. I mean, I guess, though, do they really have cilantro on the Citadel? Maybe that's why James's wasn't as good as his abuela's. There. Corey! Shark, how are you? Good to see you. How are things? How was your N7 day? Right. Half a large white onion, chopped. 2 garlic cloves, chopped. Onion's making my eyes water again. I feel like it must be a seasonal thing. Cause like, this doesn't happen as much in the like spring and or like in the summer as it does like in the fall and winter. It's so weird. Must have to, maybe it has to do with like the age of the onion. Making my eyes water. Not time yet, Chester. So, has the end of daylight savings time been throwing anyone else off? I've been relatively fine. I was a little tired yesterday. But Chester has been completely thrown for a loop. And you try to explain to a dog why his dinner is an hour late. His tummy tells him it is way past time for dinner. Okay. Terrible. No! Corey says 2 days of nonstop head explodies. But I have cats and heated blanket for snugs. I'm sorry. Like a headache? That really sucks. I've actually, the last week, basically, I've kind of had like a low grade headache. I don't know why. Yeah, what daylight savings time? Tummy says food time. You try to explain to a dog. That's your first mistake right there. Yeah. Are any of you guys lucky to live in places where they don't do that? Where they don't do daylight savings time versus standard time versus whatever? Like where you guys don't have a time change? Because I would love that right now. Okay. Heat the oil in a large pan over medium-high heat. I think actually we have to immersion blend this. So I think actually I'm going to use... I think I'm just going to use a saucepan. I don't know that the pan needs to be exceptionally large. A tablespoon of oil. Actually, let's just use olive oil. It said to use vegetable oil, but that's fine. This is going to be fairly strongly flavored. Tablespoon olive oil. The other thing that I could use for this is the Dutch oven, but I don't really want to dig it out. So we're going to just use this instead. Okay. Groggs' Chester has spent 250 wines. However, the feed Chester redeem was increased to 300 wines. All right. Onions. Oh, and peppers. Right. So I gotta cook the. I gotta cut up the jalapeno too. Let's do that now. I'm so excited for this, honestly. Do I really want an entire jalapeno in here? Maybe I don't. Maybe I only want like half of the one. I think I'm gonna cut this in half. Because I don't know how spicy this chorizo is. And if this chorizo is very, very spicy, then I don't want to completely like sink my digestion. I love spicy food, but it does not always love me. All right. Cut that. Just set that over here. Throw that in the trash too. Okay. Get the seeds out of here. Wonder if any of the BioWare devs actually cook. Like, can you picture hungover James, like, chopping all of this stuff? Or even finding all of this stuff on the Citadel? Can you imagine how hard it would be to source all these ingredients in space? I mean, I don't have any cilantro, and, like, there's 3 grocery stores within, like, a mile of me. What is the space equivalent of cilantro? All right. Jalapeno pepper. I'm going to wash my hands for just a second here. Don't want to touch my oniony eyes with my jalapeno fingies. That would be most miserable. All right. Turtles' spicy food doesn't always love me either, but I don't give a shit. Wait, actually, I do. Groggs' software developers cook. I mean, they probably do. Groggs says all my college roomies were programmers. They couldn't cook to save their lives. Does this mean there's that whole quest to get good food for the ship? Is that a thing? I'm not necessarily entirely aware of like what the content of these quests actually is. Like, I know the like the major outline of the plot, but I don't know that I've paid attention to it with that level of granularity. Because I've never played. This is actually the second year in a row I've done a Mass Effect stream without ever having played Mass Effect myself. So last year, Brigitte and I did a tier list that got literally all of our friends mad at us. No, not that mad. Just kidding. But Brigitte and I did a tier list on her channel, where we ranked all of the Mass Effect companions. And then this year I'm just like cooking food. Maybe next year. So maybe in 2024, I should actually play Mass Effect on N7 Day. What do you guys think? Maybe we need a poll. Should Leah play Mass Effect? I mean, surely if I can play Fortnite, I can play Mass Effect, right? Like, that's a thing that I could probably do. It's probably gonna need about 5 minutes. Okay. Grog says, fortunately, I have an ME2. Okay. Just as I'm used to people being mad about my tier list choices. Have you ever done it? Oh, you have. You have when Brigitte convinced you to, right? You've done tier lists on like a streamiversary celebration things. Was there a candy one? Do I remember a candy one? This is no poll needed. That's an auto yes. I think you already found the best way of enjoying Mass Effect by not playing it. Turtle, are you not a Mass Effect fan? Opting out says the real poll is whether or not she can skip the first one. Isn't Legendary Edition better, though? Like, isn't Legendary Edition better? Because that's what I have. I have Mass Effect Legendary Edition. Does this I've done both ME and DA ones. And yeah, there was a candy one. Yeah, I remember the candy one. I think I had to leave in the middle of the DA one, maybe. I think that happened on a day when I was streaming. Okay, so then... Oh, and peppers. I actually have to chop an adobo pepper. I need one of these. Right? Yes. Oh, okay. There is, in fact, a poll in the chat. It does, in fact, contain the word Mass Effect. It says... Should Leah play Mass Effect on N7 Day 2024? Yes. No. I don't remember anything after I ate the lamp or drop. Should Leah... So the next poll should be, should Leah eat a lamp on N7 Day 2024? I'm gonna get some of these seeds out just because I don't like them. So this could be a multi-tiered poll situation. There we go. I mean, surely we'll be done with Hades by the N7 Day 2024, right? Because that's our current game. All right. Where are we? All right. Dirtle says, I'm not much of a CRPG fan in general. I'm a bit salty about Mass Effect that hogged the conversation in gaming forums back in the day, and I had to know about it without being interested in it. That's fair. Grog says, that's kind of how I felt about Seinfeld. Brigitte says, honestly, I can't wait until they announce the Blasto spinoff coming to a theater near you, coming to Dez's house near you. I'm sorry, wait, what? Brigitte says, that's it, we'll have fried Hanar for N7 Day next year. No, we will not. Add the garlic and cook for another 30 seconds. Okay, so we're just going to stir this until this is like... I actually think this onion isn't quite done enough. And it's going to take another few minutes. Smells really good, though. Some random geek says I still haven't seen The Sopranos, Breaking Bad, The Wire, although I want to, or Game of Thrones. I haven't seen any of those things either, as it happens. I'm more curious in The Wire than I am in any of those other things, largely because I go to Baltimore fairly often, and I think it would be fun to watch because it was set there. But like, other than that, I never really had any interest in The Sopranos or Breaking Bad. Game of Thrones I have negative interest in. And and it's funny that Dirtle mentions it, that you kind of have to know about it without caring about it, because I kind of feel that way a little bit about Game of Thrones, just because I feel like it was such a part of the cultural conversation, not just for geeks, but like just kind of for everyone. Like, I guess, like, the people that I worked with at the bakery knew that I was kind of a sci-fi, fantasy, gaming, whatever kind of geek. And and that I met Grog playing Dungeons and Dragons. And so there's like a lot of assumptions that go with that. And so they would constantly try to have conversations with me about Game of Thrones. And I was like, everyone dies. I don't care. Leave me alone. Basically, was my entire opinion on Game of Thrones. Dirtle says I've seen half of Game of Thrones. Oh, and Droff has won the should Leah play Mass Effect? Droff. That's a very Droff outcome to that poll. Seen half of Game of Thrones in the first 3 episodes of Breaking Bad. I'm okay with that. Some Random Geek says I tried to watch Game of Thrones, it's too gratuitously violent. Some Random Geek says also Star Wars is okay. It's just okay. Star Trek is just okay. Lord of the Rings is just okay. I liked Lord of the Rings, but Star Wars and Star Trek just being okay, I agree with. I think they're just okay. Opting out says largely because The Wire might be the best television show ever made. Now I'm kind of curious about this. Although, hold on a second. All right, Grog says I enjoyed Ash versus Evil Dead, so violence is not an issue in general. Okay, we're going to pause the conversation right here for just 1 second, because Brigitte mentioned that Bruce Campbell, that she knows Bruce Campbell more from this show called Briscoe County Jr. than from Evil Dead or like anything else he's been in. And so while I would say I think we might watch The Wire, maybe try to watch The Wire after we watch Castlevania Nocturne, which is what we're watching now. I think it might end up being Briscoe County Jr. Have you guys seen this? Has any of you seen this? Grog has clearly seen this. Some Random Geek loves Star Wars and Star Trek, but they're just okay. Okay, that's fair. All right, Brigitte says I know what you're thinking. She has fried a bunch of people. Does she have enough left to fry one more? Well, in all the excitement, I kind of lost track myself. So you've got to ask yourself, are you feeling lucky? Well, do you stupid jellyfish? Why are you quoting Clint Eastwood, and why is it a jellyfish? I'm so confused. Oh. The show is worse than the books. More and more sexual violence in the show than in the book. Oh yeah, that's not great. Corey says I saw him first in Briscoe. Evil Dead was later. So we were with Brigitte on that. See, that's what Brigitte said too. Dirtle says cold take for both Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings. The books are better than their counterparts on the screen. Brigitte saw him first in Autolycus in Xena. Okay, so that was, yeah, so I see. So Xena was first. And Des says Xena was first. Is everyone a Xena fan too? That's another thing I haven't really watched much of. Sorry, I don't want this to burn, so I gotta throw the tomatoes in here. All right. There's our stuffs. And then chicken broth. Actually, if you guys will give me just a second, I'm gonna go ahead and put us on our BRB for just a little sneaky bit, because there's one thing that I have to do. So I will be right back in less than like 5 minutes. Okay, like not even 5 minutes, like 3 minutes. Give me 1 second. I have returned. And Chester's not actually sleeping. He's eating his dinner. Just FYI. He has a new BRB screen. Yes. He's so cute. Corey says we all know Xena was the superior show to her. Her be like a right-wing nut job. Like the actor that played him. The mic cutting out. Really? Or just my headphones. Kevin Sorbo is a nutbag. Yes, okay. Does this my teenage heart thought Kevin Sorbo was too cute though. Okay, so it sounds okay to Grog. All right, good. He almost got the role of Superman? No way. I don't actually know that much about Henry Cavill. I don't know if he's any better, but I do know that I like looking at him more than I like looking at Kevin Sorbo, that's for sure. Respectfully, of course. Are we gonna mention Burn Notice and Bubba Hotep? I never watched Burn Notice. Well, you know what? I did. I think I watched like one episode of Burn Notice and I liked it, but I just kept like not being able to catch it. It was like when it was on or something. And of course, back then it still wasn't like I guess you could technically record things and watch them, but I've never really done that. I'm terrible about it. And I've definitely never seen Bubba Hotep. Okay. Fire roasters, the cilantro smoke. Okay, so now I've got to do all of the amounts of what do you call them? Spices. Okay, so a teaspoon of smoked paprika, which is probably about all I've got left in here. So we desperately need to place a Penzies order. So that's a thing. Mexican oregano, a teaspoon of that. A teaspoon of brown sugar, which is down here somewhere. Yes. Oh gosh. All right. Yeah, so Durdle says let's mention Burn Notice and Bubba Hotep. Brigitte says Burn Notice and Bubba Hotep have now been mentioned. Durdle says, are we sure? It would be a shame if Burn Notice and Bubba Hotep weren't mentioned, even though we intended to mention Burn Notice and Bubba Hotep. Thank you. You know what's better than mentioning them? Talking about them. What the hell are they? What are they about? Let's talk about them. What are they about? Tell me now, please. Okay, half a teaspoon of cumin, so I need a half teaspoon. Half a teaspoon of cumin. Corey says I feel seen because Bubba Hotep is pretty solid. I don't know, I feel like most of the things that I've seen, I feel like just like kind of the way Bruce Campbell is. He doesn't take himself too seriously. And I feel like as long as he plays roles that allow him to not take himself too seriously, it's always going to be fine. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's kind of hard for, like, his vibe to go too terribly far wrong unless you put him in a situation where everything else is taking itself super seriously and he, like, is the weak link in some way. Do you know what I mean? Like, does that make sense to you guys? I feel like it's hard for him to go too far wrong is what I'm saying. Just because of who he is and how he is as an actor. He has cultivated a vibe that works for him. Like, okay, so for example, so a good example I would say is the original Evil Dead movies, right? So the original Evil Dead movies, he like... I think they were supposed to be serious horror movies, but the only reason they work for me is that they don't feel like serious horror movies. They feel silly because of him. Corey says when residents of their nursing home start dying of dubious causes, an aged Elvis and an African-American senior who claims to be President John F. Kennedy discover that the perpetrator is an Egyptian mummy with murderous intentions. And Turtles' burn notice is a series about a secret agent type dude who was fired, so now his former employers and all his enemies want to kill him, and he's making a living by taking on agent jobs. And Curry is currently knitting a knot sweater, or attempting to. What? A bodiless sweater? Sleeves and shoulders, but no body. So like a shrug. Turtles says there are often voiceovers where he explains the finer points of secret agent work, like what it takes for a successful stakeout or how to set up traps so you can sleep when you know there's a killer after you. Sunny, hi. Okay, because Corey's is fine, a shrug. Yes, there's words for these things. Brigitte says, oh, I see Wallace and Gromit sweater sleeves. I don't know what those things are. All right, so salt and then pepper, ground pepper. We're gonna grind some pepper in here, and we're gonna let this boil for some period of time, presumably. And we're probably gonna need to turn it down because I feel like it's boiling rather too vigorously. Bring it to a simmer. Reduce heat to medium-low. Simmer for 10 minutes for it to thicken slightly. All right, let's do it. So that's that. Now we need well, first I'm gonna grab all of this because this is garbage. It's just seeds. And then I think it's time to what? Fry tortillas? I think it's time to fry tortillas. It's just a lot of pans going on here right now. It's a lot of pans, is all I'm saying. But it looks more like a scarf. Or perhaps it's a thneed, or perhaps an infinity scrave. Brigitte says, I would like to put in a formal application of friendship. Is there any associated paperwork? Corey, Brigitte has submitted a formal application of friendship. How long does it typically take you to process formal applications? Oh, application approved. Okay, all right, good. All right, cool, good, excellent, fabulous, fabulous. I love this. This is great. Corey says, I'm calling it a knot sweater because that brings me joy. So, okay, I have a knot sweater too. My knot sweater is a turtleneck, and it goes like this, and then it covers like just like you put the arms and I guess it's got like a chest part, kind of. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have a chest part. It's just this. And then long sleeves, and it's just sleeves and a turtleneck. It's not like the rest
I'll have
of
what
it.
she's having.
Friendship beats Cocoa and Brie.
Brigitte, thank you for the bits. And yay, TTS worked. Amazing. Zeldykins, hello there. How are you? It's good to see you. Has redeemed hydrate. So if y'all have not had water recently or any kind of hydrating beverage, I highly recommend that you take a sip. And if you don't have any at hand, you might go get some because water is important. Corey says no turtlenecks. Turtlenecks are gross and I hate them a lot. No capes. Turtle says no capes. Do you remember Thunderhead? You read what I was putting down there. Thank you. I like just checking in on my hydro homies before my own stream today. Well, thank you. I appreciate that because I have actually been drinking alcohol and talking a lot, and I could use some more. So thanks for stopping in and saying hey. Grog says tall, storm powers, nice man, good with kids. Thunderhead? I don't have any idea what Grog's talking about. Also, I found a recipe for butternut squash that I think I'm going to throw in the oven because why not? Butternut, chili lime roasted butternut squash. This comes from that Go Dairy Free website that I found where all the things are like all the like the flavor text to this blog are all very like, why on earth would anyone need dairy when we have chili lime roasted butternut squash? It's so bizarre. But the recipes are really good. Yes, and Grog is talking about Edna, who's a very sensible woman. The most sensible. And Jane is making enchiladas. Heck yeah. Enchiladas are amazing. I love enchiladas. November 5th of 58. All was well. Another day saved. When his cape snagged on a missile fin. Yes, yes, enchiladas. Stratagale. April 23rd, 57. Cape caught in a jet turbine. Yeah, no capes. But I like turtlenecks sometimes. I do. I sometimes like turtlenecks. I'm sometimes on board with the turtleneck. I have but really the reason for the turtleneck is a very specific reason. It's a whole thing, and someday you shall learn of the thing, because I will finish it, and then we will do the associated cosplay stream. But until I finish it, that is on hold, and thou shalt not see Leah's shruggy turtleneck thing. And then Firebot is also reminding us to drink water. See, I told you water was important. Everybody wants to remind us to drink water. Yes, Corey does know the thing. Mainly because anytime I have any kind of costume crisis, Corey gets a DM being like, Corey, I'm having a costume crisis. Help. Fix my things. Help, help, help. In a large bowl, toss the squash cubes, chili powder, cumin, lime zest, salt, and pepper together until well combined. Or you could just do it on the tray and not use a bowl. How about that? Corey's on call for many things. Cats, costumes, plants, all manner of stuff. Yeah, general life stuff happens on occasion. How much olive oil? It just says olive oil. So presumably enough olive oil to cover the squash. We're going to say that's about, I don't know, a little less than a quarter cup maybe. A teaspoon of chili powder. Chili powder's here. Chili powder's here. A teaspoon of chili powder. It's a lot of chili powder. It's gonna be good. Half a teaspoon of ground cumin. Ta-da. And then, Dirtle says, water, water everywhere, and all the boards did shrink. Water, water everywhere, nor any drop to drink. Oh dear, that sounds ominous. Are we on a boat? Corey says, well, already have to start over. Borkham's dishes real bad. Brigitte says, if you need a cat dressed up like a cactus, you know who to call. Me, I'd be a little... Okay, Bilbo. Oh my god. Okay. Right, so there's this, and then half a teaspoon of lime zest. So let's zest a lime. Because we're going to have to juice this. So I'm going to zest it first. In fact, I'm just going to zest this entirely. Can we have too much lime zest on something like this? I don't know if we can. I really like dishes like this because I feel like you can very readily turn them into other things, which is actually honestly probably where this Huevos Rancheros idea came from anyway. Just putting eggs on like leftover stuff from other things. Half a teaspoon of kosher salt. Dirtle says we were indeed on a boat. That was from the Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Ah. I should probably have known that. That's like a really famous poem, duh. Right? Poem from where? Cliff Notes. That a famous Italian cooking poem. I had to read that in junior high English. I hated it. I isn't that Hemingway? Is it Hemingway? No. It's it's shit. Begins with a C. Right? Doesn't it begin with a C? Coleridge. Samuel Taylor Coleridge. The Rime of the Ancient. I'd say thank you for clarifying, but it would be disingenuous. This is gonna be great. Very excited about this situation. It also feels more fall-like now that we're introducing butternut squash into the mix. I feel like I'm not being a very good cooking host today. I'm just kind of like, let's talk about Bruce Campbell. Let's talk about Samuel Taylor Coleridge. I'm not talking about the order in which I'm doing any of this because I don't really actually know, nor is there any rhyme to my reason here. Or reason to the Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Particularly not making junior high kids read it. What the fuck? So hopefully you guys are cool with just like, you know, me cooking and hanging out. Darrell says, but the only reason I heard about the poem in the first place is a non-native speaker who never had proper English lit classes is because Iron Maiden has a song about it, and in the song they quote the water, water everywhere bit. We hear water, water everywhere and not a drop to drink a lot as English speakers, which is why I couldn't immediately place it because it's just a thing. Okay, so black beans, rinsed and drained. I'm not going to do that, actually, because I don't approve of that for this application. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get yet another pan, and I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in it, but not a lot. Boop, boop, boop. And I'm going to put this can, without having drained it, into this pan. First, I'm going to add a little bit of cumin to it, though. Little bit of cumin, just a pinch. And going to heat up this burner a bit. No. It's only got one burner, so we're going to turn it to 4. And then we're going to throw the entire can of black beans in there and let that heat up. I'm just going to set these off to the side here. Okay. And then tortillas. Half the oil. What's half the oil? 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. We are going to use vegetable oil for this because I don't know how hot they want it. Honest to goodness, can you imagine James going through all of these steps? Because I can't. She says Margaret Thatcher would like that poem. It is quite ubiquitous because it's water. Corey, please. Does she like Italian food? I assume there's some spicy meatballs where she sent it out. Oh my gosh. All right. Tortillas. It says, when the oil is hot, fry the tortillas for 30 to 60 seconds and put them on a plate. So we are going to do that, but where are the plates? Why are all the plates missing? This is so bizarre. Have we used them all? All right. Well, that's okay. We'll use this one for this. And then we'll put our food on different plates. It'll be fine. Oh, I should also probably turn up the heat on this burner if we're going to use it to fry things. Ha! This is now thickened. I'm gonna break up these tomatoes a little bit. I'm also just gonna go ahead and put on an apron at this stage because we have to use the immersion blender, and it's probably gonna go everywhere. Corey says that was a bit of a slow picture. She says, look, we've seen the number of pull-ups James is willing to do in a row. I don't see why preparing some ingredients would be a chore. I suppose that's fair. Maybe we don't give him enough credit. Maybe I don't give him enough credit. Okay. We're really close. I know it doesn't look like it, but we are. Yeah. Let me grab a... Wait. I know you guys can't see me, but we're making eggs. So I should use my egg one. I'm actually just going to do it like this to start with. It somehow came untied. And it's hard to tie it around my neck. So I get to wear my egg outfit. My egg apron. It's not really an egg outfit. It's not a whole outfit. It's just an apron. And I have to attempt not to tie my hair into it, which is, not so easy. There. Sunny says, how excellent. We have done egg buns before. I will warn you. All right. What was I going to do? All right. I was going to get the immersion blender. Okay. Last time I pulled out the immersion blender, we were rudely interrupted. So what I will say is, if you're going to use an immersion blender, Be extra special careful because this is extremely sharp. Aside from mandolins, immersion blenders apparently cause the most kitchen-related accidents. All right. Let's go ahead and blend away. And then we're going to have to test the seasoning. That's one of the things that happens when you puree all these tomatoes. Sometimes you need a little extra salt. This looks amazing. It looks just right. I'm so pleased. This looks exactly like it's supposed to. I love it. I love it when a plan comes together. I'm just going to put this over here and try not to cut myself on it. Egg puns aren't all they're cracked up to be. Thank you, Grog. Turtle says, I'm normally very shy, but egg puns help me come out of my shell. I've noticed that about you, Turtle. I've noticed how shy you are. How unwilling to jump in to any and all conversations. I don't know what you're like in person, but... And Dirtle is surrounded by good yolks, apparently. All right. That is the blender. All right, that's good. So now we're going to do our tortillas. Just going to fry the tortillas. And we need... How many is this actually supposed to serve? 8 eggs. I think 4. 8 eggs, 8 tortillas. So, yeah, we're just going to do this. And we really only need this to do like 30 seconds. So 30 seconds per side. This doesn't take long at all. I think this is actually going to end up being a little bit too hot. I'm going to turn this down. Two, 3, 4. Oh, no. I already have one of them in there, so I only need 3 more. Okay. Dread Wolf, hi, how are you? Good to see you. For me, that's 2 servings. Yes. I think there are a number of folks in the chat who would agree with you. But I think it's supposed to be 4. However, there's plenty, so if you want to eat more than that, you can. Yes, happy N7 day. We are making like James in the kitchen. And making Huevos Rancheros. Unfortunately, Mass Effect does not provide us with a recipe, so we are winging it. Okay, so now I'm going to just set this for 15 minutes. 20 minutes. That's fine. That's better. That's looking more like what I would want this to look like. Wonder if I could do 2 at a time. I probably could, huh? Maybe not ideal, but plausible. Sure, let's try it. I guess it depends on the number of margaritas one consumes. How many margaritas do we think James consumed in ME3? Out of curiosity. I don't have a margarita, however. I have a cactus. What is this actually called? Oh, a Tia Mia. It's a Mai Tai, except made with mezcal instead of rum. So no tequila here. But I guess mezcal is kind of like tequila. Also, I won't be eating any lamps. Or hopefully waking up naked next to Javik. James was functional the day after and Grunt was not. That's fair. Yes. Dreadwolf says I'll be here off and on. So many people. I'm jumping from stream to stream, but I'll leave the tab open. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Yes, there are so many people celebrating N7 Day. Isn't it cool? I'm really excited about it too. I wish I had been able to watch more today, but I lurked in a bunch of people's streams, so I'm right there with you. Thanks for popping in. Dirtle says I don't have a margarita. I have a cactus. That is accurate. Also, we do have a quote function here. I don't know how to use it, but I think Brigitte does. Right. I don't want to burn this, so let's throw these back here. All right. Now, this is too hot. I typically, my understanding is, for the most part, that what we want to do for Huevos Rancheros usually is sunny side up eggs. However, Grog does not care for sunny side up eggs, and I am only dubiously interested in them. So, we're gonna do over easy eggs, but we're gonna wait for that pan to stop smoking first. What the hell? This oil is way too hot. Why is it so hot? Sorry, I'm just going to take that off the heat for a second. Is it quote space add? Whatever Dez's is, it isn't that. It's the other one. That's what happens when you're a mod in multiple spaces and you don't actually know what your own commands are. All right, let's try this. I think that should be good enough. Does anybody else, and this is probably betraying my age here, and also country, whenever you crack an egg into a pan, this is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions? I can't help it. It's automatic. I think that pan was a little bit too hot, but it's all right. It's the quote thing, Des. The quote thing. I wanted to add this quote that Dirtle quoted, and I don't know how. Because it's not what it is in your channel. It's something else. Add quote. Ha! No. Des knows how to do it. I do not. Quote space add. All right, fine. Okay, this is... Yeah, this was a little bit too warm. I ordinarily